Morning, guys. So I'm back again, and the first official video of the Black Moon TV channel is here. And woke up this morning to news: 12 Republican vote to withhold congressional honor from police, the Capitol Police that were sieged on January 6th by pro-Trump supporters who broke into the building illegally and committed acts of treason, acts of terrorism, and acts that eventually led to the death of police officers as well as 4 or 5 other people, and multiple injuries for the police officers and people that work hard to protect the institution of democracy, right? So the bill was introduced to give them a congressional honor, and 12 Republicans voted against it. And their reason for not giving these police officers, and call it what it is, they're trying to sugarcoat it and saying the bill doesn't really honor the police officers. They should be honored every day, not just like now. It's just weird. Like, all right. Their reason is because the word insurrectionist is used to describe the people storming the Capitol building on January 6th. Second reason is the word temple is used in the bill, and we're gonna break that down. The word temple is used in the bill to describe a temple of American democracy is used to describe the capital of the United States of America. If that's not a temple of democracy, I don't know what is. You know, maybe it's Mar-a-Lago, maybe it's Trump Towers. Is that what they think a temple of democracy is? So the bill clearly outlines what happened, right? Insurrectionists stormed the Capitol, right? That's factual things that we all saw on TV on January 6th, right? And these Republicans are thinking that, oh, the words are construed as a political tool to make pro-Trump supporters look bad and make the Capitol building look good. So let's break this down. The bill, all the bill does, or a bill in this instance, is promoting an act. That's all it is. Once the bill passes and the congressional medals are distributed, the notes are what is recorded is, 50, 60, 100 years from now, when you look back on this day or this period, you just see that these Capitol police officers were awarded congressional medals of honor for protecting the Capitol. That's all you would see in a history book or cliff notes or the library if you go and research this era. That's all you will see. There won't be any wording in the bill of why this was passed or whatever. Other history texts would probably record what happened, exactly what happened. But these Republicans want to paint a different narrative. I don't know what they think these people were that stormed the Capitol and killed a police officer, right? Oh, I said in one of my previous videos that there's this, I can't remember the law. There's this law where if I'm a bystander and bank robbers run by me and they said, Olaf, which way is the bank? Or which way is the Bank of America or Bank of this? And they say, oh yeah, the bank is over there. To go down that way and make a left. And just by me giving bank robbers directions, even if I don't know they're going to rob the bank or kill someone in the bank, I'm a part of the crime. And I could go to jail and I could serve. And if Google it, people are serving life in jail. People have gotten death sentences for basically doing what I'm doing. I think it's the Getaway Driver Act. Like if I'm a getaway driver and people rob a bank, and say a police officer or someone gets killed, I could get charged for first-degree murder. Right? I'll get charged the strictest fine of that crime. If someone gets killed, I get charged with murder. Just for being a getaway driver or just for being a bystander that gave directions or aiding the act of the crime, right? Whether I knew it or didn't know it, I could be legally charged with that crime, right? Now, thousands of these people stormed the Capitol, and as a result of Donald Trump telling them to go there, a police officer died. And it's beyond me why all of them aren't charged with the same crime of murder of a police officer, right? So that in itself is a bit of a white privilege of if it was a group of BLM protesters that stormed the Capitol on January 6th and killed one police officer, even though thousands weren't involved in that act of killing the officers, I bet my house, my cars, and a year of my salary that every single one of those BLM protesters would either be called on by Republicans to face the full fine of first-degree murder, or they would have gotten charged with first-degree murder of all being there when that officer was killed, right? So that in itself is white privilege, right? Call it what it is. You know, if a group of my friends did that, we'd all be serving life sentences for the death of Officer Sicknick, right? That's a fact, right? Now, all they want to do is say, you know what, these officers deserve this because we have video footage. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours of video footage on social media, people posting stuff of what happened. And yet these Republicans are seeing it as they're not insurrectionists and the Capitol is not the temple of American democracy. What the hell was happening January 6th in that building, right? They're certifying the next president of America, right? If I tell people, Joe Biden, I'll tell all my Republican friends, Joe Biden is the best president you guys could have as Republican voters, as Republican politicians. Because if I was a Joe Biden, right, none of this would happen. Executive orders will be tattooed on my chest. Executive orders for punishing people, right? You don't stampede the Capitol building January 6th and get away with trespassing. No. An officer died? No. Every one of you guys get charged with first-degree murder, aiding and abetting in a crime that resulted in someone's dying. 4 other people died, 50 officers or plus got injured, right? You get the full punishment. End of story. Executive order stamped and signed. That's the type of person I would be. Not because I'm vengeful or angry, but because justice is justice, right? We want to stand for truth and we want to stand for justice, and the only way to show these Republicans that truth is truth and fact is fact and 1 + 1 is 2 is by, like I said, you got to beat your kids, right? If they don't learn, they keep touching the stove, you got to make them learn that lesson. And I'm not proposing violence against kids or anyone like that, but you get the point. The point is that you have to come firm with this, right? You can't be like, oh yeah, that's their opinion. No, fact is fact. 1 + 1 is 2. Enough of this nonsense where, oh yeah, it could be seen a way they're just blowing off steam. Donald Trump didn't really tell them to do that. Enough of that wishy-washy stuff, right? Because when it comes to certain minority groups, when we do things, it's white and black. It's they did that, punish them. When white people do things, it's like, oh, we don't know, we have to investigate. End of that, right? And I know I get on Republicans a lot. I'm not getting on the voters of Republicans. I think Republican voters are actually the biggest victims in all this, right? Because you guys elect these Congress people to represent you. And I know all Republican voters aren't Bill Gates rich or Jeff Bezos rich. You guys are working people that maybe support the police, maybe want better salaries, maybe want to pay less taxes, maybe want to send your kids to great schools. I'm sure that's what Republican voters, at the end of the day, we all want the same things for our family. But you vote for these people that don't represent you one bit, right? One bit. Donald Trump was voted into office, right? First time in 2016. What was the first thing he did? Tell me. What was his first executive orders, right? First thing his plan was, right? Look back, Google that. I'll give you a minute to Google and tell me what the first thing Donald Trump did, right? He lowered taxes for wealthy people. And the BS in that was like, it would trickle down to working class families and we'll give you guys a tax break too, right? Not my household made outside of whatever the medium income is, but friends and people I work with who make the medium, I think under $150,000 a year, under $80,000 a year, saw maybe $50 less in taxes, right? Or $100 less in taxes. And they were happy. Oh yeah, I could buy sneakers or whatever. Rich people, right? Millionaires and billionaires saw a lot reduced in taxes, right? So it's like a sham. It's like, oh yeah, you get $100 back, but my buddies, my rich buddies over here, they'll get like millions of dollars back in taxes, right? It's a sham. That's the first thing Trump did. The second thing, and one of the main things he ran on that you guys didn't know, he's trying to repeal Obamacare, right? And he's so stupid, and these Republicans were so stupid at the time, they didn't realize how it's a tangled web of Obamacare, right? It connects healthcare, good healthcare, to a lot of poor, middle class, income families, right? It connects good healthcare to them. It makes sure if you need medicine, if you need this, you need that, you get it, right? That's what Obamacare kind of did, right? But they didn't know that. And that's the only thing Trump could not do for them. He could not pull that away. He could not flip that switch and get rid of it, right? He was so stupid, and they were so stupid, that even if they had a decent plan to replace it, it was always repeal and replace, repeal and get rid of. Even if they have a half a brain to think of a decent plan to replace it, where people could keep their health insurance and it wasn't a mandate by the government, it would have been done. But for 4 years, he just didn't do anything about it. So my point is that Republican voters are the biggest victims, right? Democratic voters, we are like, kind of like, what's the word? We'll get caught in the crossfires, or we'll be innocent bystanders that get shot. But Republican voters are direct targets, right? By Republican politicians, the ignorance of Republican politicians, right? They'll tell you A and then do B once they get in office, right? We support the police, but only when it's convenient for us. Only when it makes white supremacists look good, then we'll support the police, right? Blue flags matter, blue lives matter, right? But only when the police aren't trying to stop us from invading the Capitol building, then we have to kill them, right? Come on, BS, 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 right? And to end the video, I have some other topics I'm gonna be filming today. I'm sorry, working on today. So we'll see you guys in the next one.